Hi, everyone. Welcome back to State of the State. I'm your host, Morgan C. Mullings, and my special guest today is Assembly Member Kenny Burgos. He is here all the way from Albany, but he's originally from the Bronx, and he's District 85, and he's running to keep that seat. So today, we're going to talk a little bit about his campaign and what he's accomplished so far. So hi, Kenny. It's good to see you.
Hi, Morgan. Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit more about why you're running for reelection and why you're staying in politics.
Yeah, so I just ran for my first term just 2 years ago in the height of the pandemic, and I never thought I'd be representing the neighborhood that I not only grew up in, but my family currently lives in. I'm raising my family here, so I'm running for election to continue the work that I sought out to do in my first term, and want to continue doing for my neighbors of Soundview, Classen Point, Hunts Point, and Longwood.
Yeah, so when we talked before, and just in a little bit of my research about you, I know that you really have a heart for service, especially for the community that you grew up in. Now that you're an assembly member, what have you been able to accomplish so far for your community?
Well, on the local level, the work has never stopped from even before being elected. I've made sure we've had not only back to school events, block parties. I supported my senior centers, my community centers, my several niche developments with food distributions, with cash assistance, and then the state level. We've been able to help out with programs like the ERAP program, the Excluded Workers Fund. I passed two laws last year. One of them, which would actually help to identify spam texts as spam and put them on this do not text list, as we know as do not call list. And I have a lot more legislation in the works, pushing for criminal justice reform, for tax reform, you name it. So there's a lot more to do.
Right. And I'm glad you mentioned the spam text messages because I get them all day long and I don't know how to stop them. So that definitely interests me. There will be a lot more issues that you're going to have to tackle should you be reelected, especially coming out of, an economic crisis, a food crisis, and especially COVID-19. I know we're tired of hearing that word. I want to know in the future what you're looking forward to accomplishing for them and helping them with.
Yeah, right now the main focus really is the recovery. Right now we're seeing record inflation. People are seeing prices increase at the grocery store, at the gas tank. And while a lot of that stuff is handled at the federal level, there's a lot that state can do, right? We can always help to kind of balance those scales, whether it's through property tax reform. We have a lot of homeowners here who are spending a proportionally much higher amount on property taxes in the Bronx than they are to their counterparts in Manhattan. We can help out with people through cash assistance, through unemployment. You still have people who have not found a job, who have not been able to put food on the table for their families. So we want to help to kind of equalize those playing fields and make sure that our neighbors and the people here in the Bronx and the state of New York are going to really be on that path to recovery once we leave this pandemic.
Right. Well, I really wish you the best of luck in your reelection and,
Thank you.
continue doing the great work that you do. Thank you so much, Kenny, for coming on the show.
Thanks so much for having me, Morgan. Take care.
Thank you guys for tuning in to State of the State. Please come back for another episode where we interview more of your assembly members who are running for reelection.